All right, Sushakya, how are you?
I'm good. How are you doing, Kanth? How's Christmas planning and how was the Christmas?
Well, whole bunch of family members are here. We are very excited, and I somehow managed to sneak out and do this recording today because you've been insisting on it. And you know me, I mean, uh, I would love to do this, but for me to do it on my own on a daily basis does not happen. So I thank you for helping me out. Audience, we just decided to just meet once a week, and you will throw me a whole bunch of questions that we are recording back to back, and we're going to be putting it out there. But please, definitely feel free if you're enjoying this, share with your friends. Our whole goal is to bridge the crypto divide, at least in terms of knowledge, if not in terms of money. So we want to
Yeah.
bridge it in terms of knowledge because we believe that this is the future. We believe this is the next internet. We believe that crypto is here to stay. We believe that many good careers and good futures are being going to be created for the next several decades out of this unbelievably new, exciting industry. So yeah, keep the questions coming. Happy to handle them. And if you see any errors in what I'm saying, do let me know. That's not our intent. So we will definitely pull down those videos, correct them, debug them, do whatever it needs to be done. Our goal is to explain complex concepts in simple language so more and more people can cross the crypto divide. So
Uh,
over to
uh,
you, Sushakya.
yeah, thank you. So I think you are one of the right persons. That's why we keep coming back to you. And we think that whatever you keep on telling us is something that people also should be knowing. And it's very simple and very in a very disintegrated form. So coming back to one thing that we had earlier discussed also, that there can be an imbalance in the crypto positions, whatever, if a certain section of the society is having a bunch of bitcoins and they are not willing to sell or something related to that, there can be some form of imbalance. Now my question, and as well as a question came up from one of our audiences, that what will be the implications? So what type of implications are you expecting in future that we have to, and what are its ways to deal with, and can we avoid it or can we not, and what's your views on it?
I don't, it's not about avoiding, it's about knowing. I think just knowing is what I'm most interested in. So we talked about this crazy rule, right? 3 to 4% of the people out there hold about 96, 97% of the Bitcoins out there. And we came up with some kind of a number that's $240 billion. If the total valuation of Bitcoin today is 250, about 240 is being held by 3, 4% of the Bitcoin owners out there. So that is crazy. When you really think about it, you stop and think about it, you say, wow, if I walk into a room with the world of Bitcoin boiled down to 100 people, 3, 4 of them own what is more than 97% of the rest. So that is when you think about that and you start thinking about what are the implications of this, right? Because when we look at coin market cap and we look at Bitcoin and we see, okay, 17 billion traded, we boiled it down in one of the earlier videos and said that's only 2, 300, 400,000 Bitcoins out of how many are there in circulation right now? 17 million approximately out of total max of 21 million ever going to be happening by 2140. So we are looking at 17 million Bitcoins in circulation. What is 1/10? That's 1.7 million. Wow. So what is 1/10 of that? 0.17 million, 170,000. So it's almost like uh, maybe 2%, 3%. So of what is in circulation is really in circulation. So the circulating supply is a misleading word. People are thinking that 17 million Bitcoins are being traded every day. No, no, no. 97% of that, if you can imagine that, right? So 97% of that is really people are sitting on it. These are wallets, wallet holders. They have gigantic amounts of Bitcoins, and those wallets and addresses have not moved a single Bitcoin for years. I don't think they have any intention either. So once in a while down the road, when each Bitcoin is 100,000, they want to buy a house, they might sell 10 of their hoard of 400,000 Bitcoins or
Right.
something like that. But the movement will be small and rare and things like that. Say as they come into circulation, sure, they will come, more and more will come into circulation over time, presumably. But as they come into circulation, that'll be slow and few and far between. So what does that mean? That means only a very small number of that out of this out of the 16 million, not even 1.6 million. That's what I'm trying to say. Maybe half of that, maybe 300, 400, 500,000 Bitcoins are being traded, are available and in circulation every day. So not even 17 million. So the supply demand is totally skewed. So only 400, 500,000 Bitcoins are out there, and you're having everybody look for them, including pension funds now, institutional holders. Can you imagine the amount of demand is crazy? And if there is a whatever, right, Brexit or something like that, some country experiences, Zambia, Zimbabwe, I don't know, some of these Greece, and some of these countries are, if they experience a challenge with their currency, what is their backup currency? It's Bitcoin.
Right.
So it's a storage of value. There's a coup in Africa. You don't want all your physical assets to be gone, and that's all you have. What do? You take a portion of your assets and put them in digital assets, so that you might be exiled, but you're not penniless as you used to be in the case before. You might land up in UK or Australia or Canada or US, any of these countries that takes refugees, and then you land and you take your 100 Bitcoins or 200 Bitcoins out because you're ultra wealthy in your country, and you don't start at zero. You start out with a decent life in a new country. Any number of scenarios can be painted. Bottom line is, a lot of demand is there on Bitcoins. For every bad thing in the monetary system that's going on globally, the backup seems to be one and only one, which is Bitcoin. So there's a huge demand, and there's not even a 17 million Bitcoins in supply. The supply is like 300, 400,000 is what I'm estimating. I could be wrong. Maybe it's a million, but it's still ridiculously small compared to what people are thinking. They're thinking 21 million, they're thinking 17 million. None of that is true. So that's why we have these huge fluctuations in volatility. If somebody sells, it falls. If somebody buys, it grows. So the daily volatility is extremely high. So if we take this one-day picture and we take a look at it, and let me just remove the price. Let me remove the market cap just to make it. So you are talking about the variation went from, in 24 hours, 11,885 to what it is now, 15,000. How can a coin have $4,000 of variability within 24 hours? And that's because the supply is so small and the demand is so high that any small amount of buying and selling causes ridiculous change. So is really Bitcoin worth $15,000? Is anybody's guess. So if some of these big wallet holders, the big whales, start selling off, I think it can crash all the way down to 1,000, maybe a few hundred. God knows, maybe it'll be $10 if they all sell it off. But after that huge sell-off, can it over the next year or two go right back up to 15,000 and over to 100,000 and beyond? Absolutely, no doubt about that. So no matter who sells off, and there's a short term, just like it went to 20,000 and fell back all the way to 12,000, that is about 40% fall, right? We have seen in the stock market that a good stock can climb up on excitement, mania, whatever you call it, and goes up all the way to something like 20,000, can fall all the way to 30, 40, 50%. So normally, there have been exceptions that go less than or more than that range. So these are fluctuations that are expected. So, and Bitcoin is exhibiting those characteristics of a stock. So it went up to 20,000, had a run down all the way back to 12,000. Now it's at 15,000. And will it ever see 15,000 again after the next few months? If it goes back to 20,000, breaks out and goes to the next level? Probably not. That's what I'm looking at. The behavior of Bitcoin has been up and up and up and keep on breaking out. And you can't even, how do you value a Bitcoin? It's a coin, for heaven's sake. It's not a company. It's not a Google that, oh, Google has $600 billion or $700 billion valuation and Amazon has whatever, and Apple has 800, 900 billion. I mean, that's of December 23rd. These valuations change a lot as well. That's because there is an underlying company that's producing something. There's a price earning ratio and there is some semblance to it. Bitcoin is driven by something totally different. It's belief. It's how many people are involved in it and how much supply is there, how much demand is there. And the demand is growing exponentially, or I don't know if it's exponentially, it's tremendously. And the supply is ridiculously small. So that's the reason why these prices, in my humble opinion, keep on rising. So if this were a startup, can you imagine a startup in 2009, January, that started at $0? And here we are 7, 8 years, 8, yeah, is it 8? Yeah, 8, 9 years later, it's worth 250 billion. I mean, that's a faster growth rate than FAMGA, Facebook, Amazon, Microsoft, blah, blah, blah. This is ridiculous. This is incredible. This is crazy, the way this thing has gone up. And the even more scary thing is this might be small compared to what it'll be in the next 10 years. I won't be surprised if it is 2.5 trillion or more, right? So
Yeah.
that's really what the implications of this are: high volatility, potentially tremendous growth, and maybe gradual, rare, and few and far between increase in the circulating supply, the real circulating supply. Hope that helps.
Yeah, so I think that actually helped us. So, but what we have to do right now, we have to put on our speculation cap and sit for it. And if you have any ideas, you can. If you want to buy, invest. This is the time you should do it, because you never know what's gonna come up in future. Whether it's gonna go up as we are expecting that it's gonna skyrocket, or it might go down. That also we do not know. But the right time is now. So if you want to invest in something, you can do it. But then up to your own due diligence. Okay, with that, we come to the end of this episode. Again, Kanth gave a beautiful answer, and it is very interesting and it's very helpful. And I think one of these answers will actually help you to decide what you should invest in and why should you invest in. So that is what. Okay, again, thank you, Kanth. And one thing also, if you like our videos and if you want to ask us something, or if you want a question to be discussed or asked, please do not feel shy. Do not give away. Our comment section is down below. You go there, you drop down your question, and we promise that we'll come back to you very soon with your answers. Thank you. That's all, Kanth, for today.
The cautionary tale, huh? I really appreciate that. The disclaimer that Sushakya said is, hey, we are not wealth advisors, so you have to do your own due diligence. You have to figure out, and you certainly don't want to invest any money that you don't want to lose. So if 1% of your wealth is all you can afford to invest and afford to lose, that's all you should invest. But also you should do your due diligence and understand it. Here, our goal, remember, is to bridge the crypto divide in terms of knowledge, right? And not in terms of wealth, because we are not wealth advisors. So, but the disclaimer is, yeah, am I invested in Bitcoin and other cryptos? Sure. Do I believe in them? Absolutely. Otherwise, I wouldn't be doing 3 companies that I'm doing right now. Thank you, Sushakya. Bye-bye.
Thank you, Kanth. Bye.